It could be 4 a.m. and you want pierogies. This man's gonna get out of his bed and be like, okay.
Let's get the Italian music going.
Yeah. Italian music for pierogies?
Well, usually it's
Pierogies
pasta.
are cool.
Sorry, I know
Yeah.
that was wrong, but...
Alright, so, hello, my name is Vic, and I will be the one interviewing you all on behalf of Ultraviolet Magazine. You guys are Dreamwake. How are we doing today?
We're doing fantastic.
Doing
That's
great.
That's amazing! Had a little bit of trouble setting up this interview, but we got it going.
Typical
Let's go.
on brand Dreamwake.
Hell
brand.
yeah, on brand. Can you guys introduce yourself and throw us a fun fact about yourselves that nobody really knows about you, and it can be anything. So, go ahead.
I'm Andrew, aka Andy, and my fun fact is that I met Obama.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
A long time ago, but yeah, I did. I can send you the picture to post it. We'll post the picture right here.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Kevin Jacques, aka Kevo. I was in the movie Happy Gilmore 2, and I high-fived a streaker. It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Dave, aka Dave. And my fun fact is I'm obsessed with race cars.
Hell yeah.
Favorite thing in the world.
Hell yeah. Do you like F1? Or do you prefer NASCAR?
More like endurance racing.
Oh, okay.
All the 24-hour ones, you know.
Okay. Okay, that's really interesting.
It's very fun.
And lastly, but not least, because I'm the most important person in the band.
So cool.
No, I'm Bobby, and I'm the vocalist of the band. As far as like fun facts go, I'm kind of plain, but I will say I spend most of my time gaming. I'm a sweat, so
Okay.
no fun facts, not off the dome, but yeah, I'm
That's
a sweaty
fine.
gamer. Here you go, take the mic. Get me out of here.
No way, bro, me too.
So before we jump into the interview, I know he's not here today, but I have to say it is Kellen's birthday, which I think
It
is
is
very
Happy
interesting.
birthday,
Happy
Kelly.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Kellen!
We love you.
Yep, amazing saxophonist of Dreamwake. So let's jump in and let's talk about your new album, The Lost Years. First of all, congratulations on the release.
Thank you
so much.
You're welcome. It is such a good album. I seriously haven't heard much like it, honestly, and it's such a cohesive, well put together album, and each song is just
Thank you.
kiss.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So let's talk about the title first. What made you guys pick the name The Lost Years?
You want to take it?
Or, so I won't go too far into it. I heard somebody.
Hold the mic up
Oh,
like this.
sorry, my bad.
No problem.
I heard somebody, say Lost Years before, and kind of, it resonated with me, so I brought it up to the guys, and I was like, yo, what if we just call the album Lost Years? And they weren't quite feeling it, and then one day Dave was like, wait a second, The Lost Years.
Add the
Like,
word
just
the.
add the word the.
The.
And for some reason, that just made it click.
Awesome.
Oddly enough, for anybody watching, it's actually a Gilmore Girls reference.
Really?
Yeah.
How
So,
so?
so did you watch the show The Gilmore Girls?
I've seen it with my mom, yeah.
Okay, so there's a whole thing where Rory is like apprenticing under what's his name? Logan's dad.
That guy, yeah.
And she's doing research on him before her like interview or whatever,
Mhm.
and she's like, he accomplished all this before he was 27. That's not even accounting for his lost years, like meaning like the years that you were kind of like floating about.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like, oh, that kind of like really hits with like the meaning behind like how we all resonate with it, and that's why I brought up Lost Years, and then
It
Dave
stuck.
said the Lost Years, and it just stuck.
Stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting way of going about it, and I want to talk more about we're going to talk more about like the meaning of each song
Yeah.
later, and like kind of how it all folds together, because I'm very curious to hear that.
Okay.
So let's jump in and talk about some musical influences. Like I said, it's quite unique, but you guys still got that classic metalcore sound
Mhm.
with it. So who are some of the musical influences that helped shape the sound of the record, and like were there any artists or albums that inspired you guys while you're creating The Lost Years?
I mean, I think it goes without saying the Midnight is one of our biggest influences on like the synthwave side of things.
Okay, nice.
You know, we all are huge synthwave fans before anything else, so we try to carry that very genuinely into our music.
Okay, amazing.
And then as far as like the metalcore side, I mean, bands like Northlane, Nautilus, Polaris, just to name a few, you know, Born of Osiris. I mean, I know everybody's got their own kind of laundry list of influences that they kind of bring in.
Yeah.
But you know, those I feel like are the standard ones.
Yeah. You nailed it there. Yeah, that's pretty much all of it.
Awesome. What are some, now we're going to jump back to the theme of the Lost Years. What are some of those themes that are portrayed throughout the tracks, and what do you want your listeners to take from the album?
Do you mind if I take this?
You can start it off, dude.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm sure Bobby will have a different kind of meaning behind it. Is really just that time that you spend kind of finding yourself between adolescence and, you know, leaving behind your childhood, adolescence, and kind of let that become a part of who you become as an adult, and just kind of moving forward in your life. So that's kind of what it means to me, and that's really kind of how the album portrays itself, as leaving something behind that you can't necessarily go back to anymore or is no longer serving you, and moving forward for bigger and better things. And I'll let Bobby take the rest.
No, that's 1,000% what I was going to say. And he completely, like, killed that. That was to a T. But yeah, just about, like, I guess, like you mentioned, we kind of just all are going through, like, our own, like, emotions, and, like, around this period of our lives, we're kind of, like, finding ourselves, who we are as people, where we belong, you know, all those questions that you kind of, like, ask yourself eventually, and, you know, kind of just like navigating all those thoughts as best we can. So I guess the record's more of like a culmination of all those emotions and like trials that life has kind of thrown our way over the years, and how we've I guess processed and like navigated those. But yeah, so I get, and also like you mentioned, like letting go of like adolescence, like moving on from that past chapter or that whole I guess section of your life, and just looking forward. It stinks to have to like let stuff go, but life is always like a ever-moving cycle, and things have to move on, and there's no way you're going to be able to look forward if you're always looking back. So there's always stuff to look forward to on the horizon, but sometimes it's hard to say goodbye.
Wow.
Anything else to add? I just want.
I definitely cannot add anything else to what you guys said. That pretty much sums it up. You know. Cool. It's just
yeah. Cool.
It's a lovely meaning, and I think that a lot of people from all different age groups, whether younger people like me or older people, can all relate to that, and they can all relate to this awesome album that you guys all put out. So I want to talk a little bit about some specific songs. Personally, because I curated these questions, I want to talk about Daydream, because I absolutely love that song. It's such a well put together song. It has such a like surreal feeling to it, both in the lyrics and in the sound of the song. So can you guys like elaborate on like the specifics of like Daydream and their lyrics and stuff?
Well, I guess I'll take that one, because that was originally a song that I constructed like early on. It was probably one of the earlier songs that came up on this album. And I definitely remember I was kind of going through like a rough time with you know, like a relationship at the time, and there was something in me that if I'm not mistaken, that song was the original Memories before we actually gave Memories that title.
Oh wow!
Weirdly
okay.
enough, so it was one of those songs that kind of it really just flowed out for me, you know, and I guess I was really able to portray my emotions into that one musically, just sonically. You know, I think I wrote one line of lyrics on that song, which is the "Nothing is real." Actually, no, that's not true at all. I have a chorus in that song. I forgot. That was my first time singing a chorus on record as well. Yeah. So I wrote all the lyrics for that one. Sorry, that was a brain fart. But I wrote all the lyrics for that one, and that was a first for me as well. So that's actually a very personal song for me, and means a lot. So
that's incredible. I didn't even know that you sang. He sang the last chorus.
The last chorus,
yeah, that like alternate chorus that comes in like when it like kind of repeats the second time towards the end.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't even pick that up.
He can't even, yeah. Good voice. He can sing.
He killed it.
Yeah, that was, you know, with a lot of encouragement from Bob and the guys, you know, helping me do that. But yeah, I mean, and as far as the meaning goes, I feel like Bobby can elaborate a little bit more. But it was sort of a collaborative effort between us. So.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of ties more back into what I was just saying about how the whole album kind of tells its story about like the whole like navigating like life and letting go of the past and whatnot. But I feel like for that specific song, it was more focused on like living, like I guess ignoring reality and like almost living in this fake reality in your head, like pretending that things aren't like different and trying to just like hold on to the past and like I guess just ignoring your immediate surroundings and kind of just being lost in your thoughts and your emotions. So like hence the name Daydream, kind of just like you're like I guess what I just said, like in your head and ignoring reality and just like I guess pushing off your I guess stresses and responsibilities. But
if I could add one more thing too, I feel like the lyrics you wrote to that song really like resonated with how I felt while writing that song kind of too, because that's something I can heavily relate to. So that's why I feel like it just all came together pretty well for that one.
Yeah.
One of my favorites for sure.
Incredible. Yeah, definitely. I think my first listen through of the album, that was the one that really stuck out to me.
Nice.
But on like the next couple listens, which leads into my next question, I want to talk about the juxtaposition between Supernova and White Noise. Like Supernova is just 5 minutes of heaviness and awesome riffs and vocals and lots of saxophone. And then, you got White Noise, which is more like melodic and melancholy and almost a little more atmospheric. So what made you guys decide to put these two like next to each other on the album?
I feel like that's more of a you.
Yeah, I mean, so I was the one who originally kind of laid out the track listing for the album, and I feel like I like to hear a flow in the way the songs go, like in the order of them. We definitely don't just randomly place our songs. Like we like have arguments about it and stuff. It's like it means a lot, we want to make sure everything flows the way it should. And there was something about the way it ended, especially with Supernova kind of ending on that like flowy sax part and then it just abruptly ends. I felt like it needed, with the way the album was going, especially towards the end, that was the right time to like bring in something kind of a curveball, I guess. It's definitely one of the more different songs on the album. And it just, really, that's just, my brain just said, put that there, and it worked. We listened to it in succession, and we were like, that's a cool little transition. So, but I guess now that I didn't even really like internalize the actual complete contrast of those two songs, but I felt like they flowed really well. So
they did.
It.
In all honesty, I thought that White Noise at first was like a little transition track because of that little like
clip in the beginning.
The clip in the beginning.
Clip.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, cool little transition track. I thought it was something like VHS Dreams, I think it was.
Yeah,
the other one.
Yeah.
I thought it was another one of those, but I was then like
in a
the
way,
melody started, and I was like, oh, so this is a full song.
Yeah.
And it's very nice. I really thought it was very impressive.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so one of the things I personally love back about that clip that you have in the beginning is that everything in the album is very atmospheric. Like, it was big on like, are you guys big on ambient sounds and sort of like curating that atmosphere for your listeners, or does it just kind of happen naturally with your creative process? I
think it's a bit of both, honestly. It's always like in the back of our heads when we are writing, but I think it's more of like just a natural thing, at least for me when because I'm more of like the production, like background ambience guy. I feel like it's just where I have the most fun, and I feel like it really sets the tone for the rest of the song. Like the instruments could be going sick, but like if there's no like ambience in the background, it doesn't really sound as full. And like I feel like it just, again, it sets the tone, and then when the instruments come in, they kind of just bring the tone out of it and just.
It's all about those textures.
Yeah,
definitely.
Textures.
Yeah.
So.
That's it. That's all I had to
Yeah.
say. Textures.
Textures.
No, textured music. There was I read some study about it where it's just it actually activates more in your brain. Like it's more stimulating to your brain for some people, I guess. So I'm definitely one of those people. I love to hear layers in my music and find new things that you might not have heard. Even 5 listens down the road. So
that too.
I think it adds a lot of complexity and makes it a lot more interesting that way.
I feel like with especially with the songs that you guys write and the way that you mix sort of that synthwave and the metalcore, you can pick out things like every single time you listen to a song, even if you listen to it like 5 times in a row. Like you guys said, like I've had times where I'm listening to the music and what one was it? It was Supernova. I was listening to it when I was coming here, and one time I listened to just all of the riffs, and then one time I just listened to all the bass. And I gotta say, I love the tones that you put on your bass.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Both live and on the album,
his tones
incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
About the tones, actually, I'm just gonna add in an extra question there.
Oh yeah.
Why have you chosen to use the bass without the headstock? Pardon my non
No, it's all good.
language.
Well, I used Music Man for a long time, and when we started writing this new record, we added a lot more riffs compared to the last one. So I've been feeling a lot of fatigue in my hand with the way the neck was on my Music Man.
Okay.
So I tried out Ibanez, and I fell in love because it's a lot more thin.
Oh, nice.
Ergonomics.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Yeah, so it's much more easier to navigate around the fretboard.
Oh,
so,
fun.
and it can handle the low end a lot more better.
Okay.
And, yeah. That's
Lovely.
pretty much it,
Yeah, that's sick.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I want to go through each one of you guys, and I want to hear what your favorite song or songs are off the EP.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Kick
I'm
it
gonna
off,
say-
Kello.
I'll kick it off. But
Yeah, I'm gonna say pick 3 at
Okay.
most.
Oh,
3,
yes.
okay.
Yeah,
I
3
can do
at
2 or
most.
3.
Well, Cold Summer. It's definitely a really feelsy song. So,
I did like that one too. Yeah.
Stargazer, definitely a great intro. It just kicks.
Mhm.
And honestly, Afterglow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I don't know. It vibes. I mean, every song on the record. It's really hard to pick favorites. Every song's great, but yeah, I'd say those 3.
So I think you'll notice that Cold Summer is a collective favorite because we're all
Okay.
probably going to say that. So my number 1 is Cold Summer. I just think it pulls at all the right emotions, and it just really makes you feel like a whole just spectrum, which is really cool. After that is Heatwave, just because I think it's a really fun, upbeat song.
Yeah. Definitely.
For me, I really enjoyed filming the music video because we did that in Wildwood, New Jersey, which is a very nostalgic place for me.
Oh, okay.
So I got to go relive some childhood memories, which was really cool when we went down there.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And then Afterglow is just another one that I really enjoy in general, and it's also really fun to play live. So that's my top 3.
Hell yeah.
I have 3.5. So I broke the rules. But so I guess the first 2.5 would be from Cold Summer, VHS Dreams, and then into Afterglow. That stretch is my favorite stretch on the album. And also for VHS Dreams, I got to actually the audio that's in the background is actually from my personal home movies from my 3rd birthday party in 96. I'm dating myself here, folks. I'm gray in the head. But no, so I found a way to convert my VHS tapes to digital, and I got the audio out and I put it in there, and it's whenever I hear it, it just makes me feel some sort of way, and yeah, I don't know. So that stretch of songs, and then also Oasis. I love Oasis a lot.
Yes.
Lots of energy, very, very chaotic, very heavy. So.
That's awesome.
It's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So my top is definitely Stargazer.
Okay.
Yeah, that one for some reason, that's been my favorite for a while. It hits every right area of heavy music for me. I feel like I'm just really proud of that song because I feel like it encompasses every facet of Dreamwake that there is to offer. And the middle section, the riff into the breakdown and everything, is just one of my favorite parts of the entire album. I think it just hits really hard. I was able to throw a little bit of my Thal influence in there, which is just my favorite. And it's just a really good intro track. I have a thing for a good intro track, and I think we nailed it. So, in my humble opinion, another one, definitely Daydream for the reasons I discussed earlier. That was a really personal song to me. It was really cool getting to record vocals for the first time in the studio on that. And just overall, another really energetic song that I enjoy listening to.
Nice.
And my 3rd is actually Cold Summer. We all love that song. It's just, it's one of those ones where the amount of times I've texted the group chat upon listening to that song, I'm like, well, crying again. Get in, loser, we're going crying. That's just, it's just it hits all the right emotions for a rock or heavy song. So there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know we mentioned, we spoke about it earlier that you guys don't have a lot of time on this tour, but you're playing 5 songs.
Yeah.
5
Which
songs.
one is your favorite to perform live?
Ooh.
Stargazer, for me, at least.
It's either going to be Oasis or Afterglow. I want to say Oasis, though.
Nice.
Afterglow.
Oasis and Memories.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
there's,
Yeah, Memories is great.
Well, now we just told you the entire set list minus one song.
Oh, well, then this is for anyone who watches this after it goes live. Then now you know the set list. Sorry for spoiling it.
Sorry.
But they don't know what order.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
It goes.
Wait, let me tell you.
So, the visuals and the aesthetic tied not only to the Lost Years but Dreamwake itself are really cool, and they really distinguish your band from others. I think that the synthwave, like the sort of vaporwave aesthetic, it really differentiates you from all the other kind of I don't know how to describe it, but like the tough guy metalcore.
Yeah. Like the black on black and
No pastel colors.
Exactly, yeah. So it really distinguishes you guys. So do the visuals influence the way you make music?
I'd say yeah.
I think they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You know, I would say it's just all one thing in itself. Like the sound is the image in a way. Like I feel like that's how I feel about it, at least, is what you're looking at is how I feel like my music sounds, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I totally get it.
And it hits home, like the synthwave vibes, just it's nostalgic just to look at, you know, and then we try to capture that within our music as well. So it's really just all one big world, so to speak, that we you know, we try to create new things and add new pieces to that world every day.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
you know, it kind of all ties
Yeah,
together.
we like to build this one big universe, or I guess a quote unquote safe space for our listeners to kind of travel off to.
Yeah.
Whether that be with art or music or anything, just giving that experience of I guess disconnection and just I guess serenity.
Just
in a
making
way.
it fully immersive. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely I can say as a listener, you guys do a very, very good job of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was gonna say all your music feels like neon. Even the heavier parts feel just
shiny and shimmery and
Exactly,
dreamy.
And
yeah.
here we go back to the textures.
Yeah,
there we go. Okay, now the final thing about this little segment is that the big thing nowadays within metalcore and heavier alternative genres is genre bending and almost subgenre creation. So you guys have made your little subgenre of wavecore.
Yes.
Which sounds really, it just sounds like everything is from a super cool heavy video game soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everything I think of the Tron kind of universe,
Yes.
that's what makes me think of your music.
Awesome.
And so can you take us through what sort of wavecore is and what inspired you to make music this way?
This is an Andy kickoff question.
This is an Andy question?
Yeah, I feel like this is
all right.
define wavecore.
So, I mean, basically, we started from our EP, in the early years, and we wanted to kind of hone our sound a little bit more going into our previous album. And that's kind of where I feel like we found ourselves. And I was like, well, what do we call ourselves? Because we're not just metalcore. So we were kind of just experimenting with names one day. And do we call it, retrocore or whatever it is? And I was just like, let's take the wave from synthwave and the core from metalcore, and it will be wavecore. And I was like, it just kind of has it kind of rolls off the tongue, So the guys were behind it, and then it was weird because we just kind of started branding ourselves as that. And then on Reddit or different forums online, whatever it was, and be like, oh, wavecore, and I'm like, okay, we just thought that up one day after we practiced in Bobby's driveway.
Yeah,
and now people online are saying it, which is kind of really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, I feel like we're all synthwave fans as well as metalcore fans. Nice. So, blending those two just felt very genuine. And I feel like we do it in a way where it's not corny or it's not like a gimmick. It's we do it because we genuinely love it.
Yeah.
So, did that answer the question?
Yeah,
I feel like
1,000%. 100%. And so, I personally never heard anything like wavecore, and it's very refreshing because it's something so new and so unique, and it's very different from the standard metalcore, even the deviations of metalcore, because I feel like everyone wants to deviate, but they all go in the same direction.
Right.
Yes.
So what is it like creating music within this sort of fusion genre that's so different from everything else?
I mean, I'll let the other guys take it, but I think the way that we usually try to approach it, and you guys can interject here, is that we don't put it necessarily like a rule book on it. We don't say like,
Okay.
oh, we can't do this because of whatever. Like, if we want to do something, we're gonna at least try it. And if it sounds cool, then it sounds cool and we keep it. If it doesn't, there's plenty of times when things don't sound great. And then we're just like, okay, well, we'll put that on the back burner for another time and maybe revisit it. But, I think nothing is off the table. And we're going to try everything that we can do that, might scratch our brain in a certain way, and then we love it.
Yeah,
So,
I agreed.
You nailed it.
I just feel like there's certain elements that we know we want going into it. Like, so I guess there's almost like this rough, vague outline of what's, I guess, expected to, come up with. But at the same time, like Andy said, we kind of just experiment with like any sound. Like if we have an idea and it sounds goofy as hell, we're like, well, let's at least try it and hear it. And sometimes it sounds goofy the first time or the second time, and then we're just like, you know what? Actually, the third time that sounds kind of sick. And then so like we'll just whatever sounds good to us and makes us go woo in the studio, we keep it. So
basically.
Pretty much it.
I love that.
I'm Dave.
That's it. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Dave. I don't know if...
Dave,
No,
aka
that sums it up perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't really have more to add. So.
Cool. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that for you guys. So we're gonna shift a little bit over to tour. So you guys, 2025, you guys hopped on the Miss May I tour, and now you're on tour with Thousand Below and Aviana and True North. So how do you guys feel about being part of that lineup?
Excited as hell. I mean, both of these tours this year have been incredible. We've gotten ourselves into new crowds in front of new faces, and it's been a pleasure getting to do that on such a big scale for the first time. And especially this tour, Thousand Below, the whole show is awesome. I mean, all the bands on this lineup are really sick. Everyone's super nice, and the fans are fucking awesome, honestly. Sorry if you have to bleep that out, but
No, we don't.
all right, well, they're fucking awesome. The crowds have been super sick. It's just been a really good time, and we're really happy to be here.
Yeah, amazing. Now you guys have been on support for both the Miss May I tour and on this tour.
Yep.
Are you guys planning to do a headliner, or do you guys like? Obviously, I believe you guys do want to do a headliner, don't you?
We'd like to. I think there's still some growing to be done. Spend some time getting this album into more ears. And then when the time is right, we'd love to.
Yeah.
But might have to wait a little while for that one.
Yeah.
That's alright. I myself cannot wait for one, and so everyone should go stream the Lost Years.
Do it up.
Because
Keep
then
streaming
these guys
and
can
get
go
us
on
towards
their
that
headliner
headliner
tours. And finally, is there something you absolutely cannot live without when you're on tour?
Oh man, that is a very hard question. Because
No, that's a very easy question.
Well,
That's a very easy question.
Okay.
And what that is a portable fan.
Yes.
For bedtime, a portable fan is absolutely necessary. About 8 to 12 inches directly in front of my face.
Speak that facts.
If without that, we're not sleeping.
I have one more thing to add.
Also, Uncrustables. Uncrustables.
One thing that you cannot live without on the road, and you cannot, is Andy Pops. This man is a chef of the
A
band.
personal chef.
He will whip you up anything at any hour of the day. It could be 4 a.m. and you want pierogies. This man's gonna get out of his bed and be like, okay.
Let's get the Italian music going.
Yeah. Italian music for pierogies?
Well, usually it's
Pierogies are
pasta.
cool.
Sorry, I know
I was
that.
gonna
But
Let's shift over to the origin of Dreamwake. So you guys are a unique little group, and I gotta know, how did you guys all get together and start making music together?
So they can talk more about this, but Bobby, Dave, and Kev were already in a band together previously,
Oh, really?
writing music, and that band was kind of dissolving
Okay.
as they were forming Dreamwake.
Oh, okay.
Now, myself and Kevin's ex-girlfriend worked together in a restaurant, and she was like, oh my god, my boyfriend plays bass, you play drums, I have to introduce you. So one day, Kev was picking his girlfriend up from work, and he came in and we met. And so me and Kev were working on a project for a short period of time, which then dissolved. And they were bringing Kevin to Dreamwake, and he was like, yo, we need a drummer. Like, would you be down? and now I'm here, and
Yeah.
now we're
Wow.
all
Yeah,
here.
this is
And
Dreamwake.
we're all
Oh
here,
my
happy
God.
family.
That's really cool.
You guys can
quite-
shed more on that.
It's quite the lore. I mean,
That's pretty much
that's really it.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were Dave and I were like on the phone one day, and I'll never forget it. But we were kind of just discussing about like our old band and what our next move was, and I was like, "What if we just changed our name?" And I said essentially
wrote new music,
Dreamwake.
yeah.
It wasn't Dreamwake at the time, but we just like let's just start over, and then we.
Kellen, he's been doing saxophone for you guys, and you said he's been doing it for a couple years, right?
About 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, nice. So what made you guys choose to have a saxophone over a second guitar?
Synthwave.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I mean,
it.
it was just we wanted to incorporate that live synthwave element, and we started
Okay.
that with our last album with our song "Paradise." Was originally the only song that we were going to have a saxophone feature on,
Okay.
and so we hit up the saxophonist on our recordings, which is Jesse Malloy, who's played in bands like The Midnight, Panic at the Disco.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he did a bunch of sax takes for that, and we heard it, and we were like, we need more.
This
Yeah.
is
So we went back to them and we were like, hey, would you mind doing, a few more songs, which is, all the songs that you hear now on our previous album, Virtual Reality, that
Okay.
have sax. And
Alright.
then we kind of just decided that was going to be, if
staple.
we were going to do that in recordings, we needed to have a live feature as well.
Nice.
So, and that's where it became.
Nice. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's lovely. So I have 3 more questions for you guys, and
Yep.
then interview's gonna be over.
Cool.
Okay.
So what is your dream tour lineup?
Oh man, let me get that
Go
microphone,
ahead.
baby.
Yeah.
So this is like weird, but obviously the Midnight, Linkin Park,
Okay.
and my other favorite, current time artists would be Novelists. I love them a lot,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
They're
those
going on
three
tour with
band-
Landmarks.
Are they really?
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
yeah,
They are in
sick.
October.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my 3.
Awesome.
Mine would probably be. I mean, I would have to also put the Midnight on there. I mean, that's
Have
kind of a given, I suppose. Also, I'd love to tour with Periphery. That band is so sick. One of my
Yeah.
biggest inspirations, and it would be very cool to share the road with them. And then I would add North Lane onto that lineup as well, because I feel like
Nice.
they're somewhere in between the vibes of like Periphery and the Midnight. Somehow, some way they're somewhere in between.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I feel like it'd be a pretty cool mix up. And then add Dreamwake on there. I feel like that's a pretty awesome tour. So
I think that would be an awesome tour too.
I'm gonna go and say I think Spirit Box would be really cool
Oh,
to tour
yeah.
with
Oh.
that. Bands like Dayseeker.
Yes, that's
are
another
super
one.
Sick.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like they would fit our sound, our look, or we
Definitely.
fit theirs. They're the
Definitely.
bigger band. And then I'm gonna say Via Nova. I
Oh,
really
yeah.
want to tour with them.
Yeah, me too.
They're a smaller up and coming band right now.
Nice.
They're blowing up. Check them out if you
All
haven't
right.
heard of them yet.
From
But,
Germany?
yeah,
from Germany.
yeah, from Germany.
Germany.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I have heard of them.
Yeah,
I
they're
think so.
sick. They're
I think so,
sick.
The
yeah.
band with
Awesome.
the guy that wears that puffy hat.
The Buffy.
Yeah,
I would like to say Linkin Park for sure.
yeah.
Linkin Park.
Big influence. The Midnight, shocker.
Yeah. Wow.
Daring today.
And to be honest, Sleep Token, I feel like that'd be really dope.
That would be
Yeah,
really cool.
we played with them once, like a one-off, but a full tour would be super dope.
Yeah.
Cool.
You mentioned Dayseeker, and I'm really glad you brought that up because I didn't write it down in my notes, but I went to their Dark Sun Protocol tour, and how I said your songs all sound very neon.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I almost connected it to,
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
Dayseeker vibe
That
of neon.
shimmery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a very similar, I mean, there's plenty of synthwave, and then Rory has Hurtwave as well, which is
Yeah.
his wave or synthwave project, almost said wavecore. So I feel like there's a lot of similar influences that are pulled between the two.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
they're sick.
100%. So, one fun question. What is one of your funniest or craziest memories on tour so far? It can either be this
Oh,
tour,
God.
another tour.
There's one that we can't share, that we won't share.
Oh man. Yeah. I thought. Oh yeah. Definitely not.
No.
No.
This is actually a tough question. We're
We're
we're always just driving. I feel
I
like.
got one.
So
I got
go
one.
ahead.
All right, so on what was it, a couple years ago on our what we called our VHS Dreams tour, we got to play Kona Skate Park in
Oh, yeah.
Jacksonville,
Oh, yeah.
Florida,
Okay.
which was super cool because it was just a super cool venue, but it was also a level in a Tony Hawk game. So that was really cool. So I felt like we got to play like a Tony Hawk level in real life.
Yeah, they also built like a full ass like half pipe for Tony Hawk and stuff, and like other skaters like BAM like way back in the day, just for them to go do a demo there.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just left it, so it's kind of just
it hasn't been
it's
used
falling
since.
apart.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
we got to go up there, and like it was just so surreal because like I used to love like skateboarding as a kid and like the Tony Hawk games, like all that stuff. So I like never been on top of a half pipe before, so it was like very a lot bigger than I thought it would be. That's for
Yeah.
sure. So, but
That's
any other
really
like
cool.
crazy stories?
I mean, crazy stories, no, but I'll never forget our first time getting to go to Universal Orlando on tour. That was a really good
That was
day.
really fun.
Yeah, that was just. I think we'll all remember that day for a while because it was just a good time. So, I mean, that's about it.
Actually, like, I will say, kind of corny, but like the drive out here, it was a little daunting. But like the stuff that we got to see for the first time, like I've never seen like any parts of the desert or like any of the mountains, so
Oh wow.
it was very scenic. And like I will always remember the drive on the way out here for multiple reasons. But but yeah, very scenic and very memorable experience for me. So.
That's lovely. Yeah, because like especially if you're talking about the drive out here into Toronto, like Canada is so scenic when you're out of the city, even like farmland and stuff like that. It always looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
So,
really
anything else?
sweet. That's really sweet. I was expecting some like really silly story, but that's actually really quite sweet.
It's just cool that like we get to travel and see all these cool places, and like every time I open the back of the window as we're driving, I'm like, oh look, something new. It's like it's really cool. So
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so one last question. Do you guys have a message that you would like to share with your fans and to those who are upcoming musicians?
Musicians. Oh man. Well, I guess the most generic thing you could say is to never give up. There's been so many instances leading up to this moment for us that we could have easily just been like, screw it, I'm done, I can't, this is too much. Plenty of breaking points. And there will always be more. So like you have to be just built for it. You have to be ready to kind of just like have that mindset to get over it and just to keep pushing no matter what, because if you keep doing that, that's all it takes. It really is.
Yeah.
So that's my piece of advice.
I'd like
I
to add
think
to that.
sums it up.
And, you know, I feel like no matter what you're doing, if it's something that's hard and it's like your passion, it's actually easy to find a lot of reasons to give up when it gets really tough. You know what I mean? Because since it's your passion, I feel like you think it should be, you know, rainbows the entire time when it's definitely not. You know, you go through a lot of hardships and stuff like that, and you can always find reasons to give up, but it's, you know, the people who get where they want to go are the people who just do not give up. You know, that's it's literally as simple as that. Just push yourself even when you feel like you can't even get out of bed or whatever it may be. You know, you just have to push yourself to be 1% better every day, even if that is just simply getting out of bed. You know what I mean? Just show up every single day and you'll get where you want to go. And also, sorry to cut you off, and also to our fans, thank you for your support and everything that you do for us. It's beautiful and we love you.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet. I appreciate what you guys said there, and I'm sure so many other people will. So that concludes the interview. I'll let you guys get to sound check. So thank you so much to Dreamwake, and
Thank you.
make sure to stream The Lost Years and go listen to Dreamwake.
Hell yeah!